Hello everybody, today we are going to discuss the myth of Sisyphus by Albert Camus. You might have heard about Sisyphus, who was a Corinthian king. So this video is really quite an interesting one. We are going to discuss the story of Sisyphus here and also the philosophy of absurd by Albert Camus. So I'll tell you what was the story and how is it related to the philosophy of Albert Camus. So Albert Camus, as you know, was a great philosopher who gave us the philosophy of absurd, and which this myth of Sisyphus actually was an essay by Albert Camus, which was written in 1942 and later was translated by Justin O'Brien in English. And here in this philosophy, he is actually relating this idea of absurdism or absurdity to the task of Sisyphus, to which actually he was condemned to eternity by Zeus. So what was it actually? That Albert Camus was quite influenced by the other philosophers like Soren Kierkegaard and also by Arthur Schopenhauer and Friedrich Nietzsche. So he was quite influenced by all these philosophers, and then he put forth the philosophy of absurd. And according to him, human life is all meaningless and it's useless to try to find meaning in our life. It's totally absurd, it has no meaning, and there is no use of trying to find any meaning in our life. That's what he said. And this essay had 4 chapters in which he presented his idea. So the first chapter, Albert Camus, first I'll tell you, actually the spelling is this. Albert. So this is C-A-M-U-S, but this is pronounced as Camus. And his essay, The Myth of Sisyphus, which had 4 chapters. So the 4 chapters were absurd reasoning, so absurd reasoning, that should we commit suicide if the life is all meaningless, if it is useless to try to find any meaning, so should we commit suicide? So he said no, we should go on living and continue our life. Suicide is not a solution to this, that's what he said. Then there is the absurd man. That was the second chapter. And the third one was absurd creation. And the fourth chapter was what is the title of our today's topic, The Myth of Sisyphus, and also the title of his work, the same. So in the Myth of Sisyphus, he actually what happened, that this Sisyphus, as told by Homer as well, cheated death 2 times. He was quite a cunning person. So he twice cheated death, and that's why by Zeus he was condemned to eternal damnation, and he was punished actually, and he was given a task. What? He was to carry a boulder to the top of a mountain, and from where the boulder would roll down again to the bottom. Again he would carry that or push that to the top of the mountain, and again it would roll down to the bottom of the mountain. So he had to carry that task forever and ever till eternity. So that was the punishment given to him. And why was it so? What he did actually, he was a Corinthian king. So and he was the son of Aeolus, the god of wind. He was the Corinthian king, king of Corinth, and he was the son of Aeolus, the god of wind. The son of the god of the wind. So what happened actually that he once cheated death. And how was it actually when death, that is Thanatos as we say in Greek mythology. Thanatos is the personification of death. So when death actually went to just capture him or to take him to Hades. Hades is the underworld as we call. So when Thanatos went to take him to Hades, so he asked Thanatos that how the chains work with which actually he captures people and take them to Hades. So okay, Thanatos showed him that how the chains worked, and then what he did actually with those chains, he tied Thanatos there and didn't allow Thanatos to go back. So after this, what happened that as Thanatos was tied by this Corinthian king Sisyphus, so nobody then died, people lived longer, and this actually worried gods and others as well. So because moreover it infuriated Ares as well. So Ares was god of war in Greek mythology. Ares was god of war. So this infuriated Ares. Now in the battles actually nobody was dying, people were living long, and moreover those who were old and sick, they were suffering as well because they were not dying. So this infuriated gods, and so Ares, with the intervention of Ares, Thanatos actually, Thanatos was made free, and Thanatos returned, and Sisyphus actually lived a longer life, we can say. Second time again, when he was captured by Thanatos and taken to Hades, what happened that the other reason, there are several versions of this story. So in another version it is what? That Zeus got angry with him. Zeus is actually what? Ares was the son of Zeus and Hera. So Zeus is the god of thunder, the king of gods, as we know about Zeus. So what happened that Zeus was quite angry and infuriated by this Sisyphus, and the reason was actually he disclosed his secret to the river god. And what was the secret actually? Zeus had taken away his daughter, and when he revealed the secret, why he revealed or disclosed the secret? Because he wanted the river god to just cause a spring of flow in the Acropolis of that his kingdom. So that was the reason, that is Corinthian Acropolis. He wanted a spring to flow there, and he wanted the help of course, that river god. So that's why he disclosed the secret of Zeus to the river god, and at this Zeus got angry, and that's why he sent Thanatos to capture him and all. And later in the second part, why he was taken again to Hades. So when he was taken actually to Hades, he pleaded to the wife of Hades, Persephone, and she was a kind-hearted lady. She was kind-hearted. He actually said what? And he had already arranged for it. It was all actually planned. So what he did, he asked his wife that when he died, just throw his naked body into public. So when he was taken to Hades, he requested Persephone that he should be sent back to the upper world because his wife didn't perform the rites and rituals which should be performed at his death. So I want to go back, and so that to tell my wife to perform all the rituals and rites. So he requested, and when he requested, so as I said, Persephone was quite kind-hearted, so she was melted at his request, and then she allowed him to go back. And what happened? He went back and he never returned to, means he didn't go back to Hades or the underworld. So later on, he was dragged back into Hades by Hermes, who was a messenger of God, as we say, this guide of the souls, as it is said by Hermes, who could communicate to gods and mortals both as well. So he was kind of messenger. So he was dragged back to Hades later on, but he lived to the full. He had a complete life, and he lived to the fullest. The second part of his life was to the fullest. That's what. And finally, what happened? Zeus then, because he was such a cunning person, such a cheat. So Zeus, he punished that he should be given such a punishment which should stand an example to the others. So what punishment was given to him? He was punished, and he was asked to carry a boulder to the top of a mountain, and then what would happen? The boulder would roll back to the bottom again. Again he would carry and push that boulder to the top of the mountain, and then again that boulder would roll down to the bottom. So that was the task given to him, and it was eternal damnation for him. He was subjected to eternal damnation by Zeus, and this was the task. And as it was a meaningless task, so we have an idiomatic expression for this as well, that is Sisyphean task. So if something stands meaningless, something is totally futile and useless, we call it a meaningless task, we call it a Sisyphean task. So here is the origin of that idiomatic expression. So this is all about the myth of Sisyphus, and I hope it must be very much clear to you, and I'll come up with more such idiomatic expressions, more such wonderful stories, more such knowledgeable stories and things for you. And you can also suggest me what should I come up with next, what should be what do you expect from me. Definitely I'll try to fulfill those demands. So till then, keep watching and just keep criticizing as well, so that I'll do more to this, I'll do better for this. Okay, so till then, thank you very much.